Brad Pitt's love for motorcycles isn't just a hobby, it's a serious passion that runs as deep as his Hollywood career. Over the years, he's built an impressive collection of rare and vintage bikes, each one reflecting his love for craftsmanship, history, and pure riding thrill. From iconic American classics to European masterpieces, his garage is a dream for any motorcycle enthusiast. But which bike holds the top spot? And what makes his collection stand out among Hollywood's elite? Stick around till the end, because number 1 is something truly special. Starting us off at number 7, we've got a bike that's as effortlessly cool as Brad Pitt himself, the Triumph Bonneville. Now, let's be real. If you're building a vintage motorcycle collection, skipping this one is like trying to make a burger without the bun. It just doesn't work. And here's the thing, Brad might be the definition of an American icon, but when it comes to motorcycles, he's got a thing for British beauties. And honestly, who wouldn't? The Bonneville is pure class. It's got that old school British charm, but it rides like it's fresh off the production line. Smooth, stylish, and built like a dream, it's the kind of bike that makes you want to throw on a leather jacket and hit the open road. And let's talk about Brad for a second. He doesn't just own a Bonneville, he actually rides it. This isn't one of those collector's pieces that just sits in a garage for flexing rights. Nah, he's out there living the dream, casually rolling through LA like he's starring in his own vintage action flick. And he's not the only one. From A-list actors to rock stars, the Bonneville has become the go-to bike for anyone who wants to ride in style without screaming for attention. Rolling in at number 6, we've got a bike that proves Brad Pitt isn't just about style, he's about adventure too. Meet the BMW R1150 GS Adventure, a machine built for riders who like to push the limits. Now, if you know anything about BMW Motorrad, you're probably familiar with the R1200 GS Adventure, the R1250 GS Adventure, or even the brand new R1300 GS. But Brad, he went for the R1150 GS Adventure, an older model that was discontinued back in 2004. To most people, this might seem outdated, but for Brad, it's a classic. He doesn't need the flashiest, most high-tech bike on the market. He just needs something that's built to last and feels right on the road. And let's be real, this thing is a beast. With a 1,130 cubic centimeter boxer twin engine pushing out 85 horsepower and 102 newton meters of torque, it's not the fastest bike around, but it's got versatility written all over it. It's the kind of machine that can tear up city streets and then head straight into the wild without breaking a sweat. That's probably why Brad keeps it in his collection. It's not just a motorcycle, it's an experience. Whether you're on a long road trip or taking on rugged terrain, the R1150 GS Adventure is the kind of bike that won't let you down. And if there's one thing Brad Pitt knows how to do, it's making any bike look effortlessly cool. Taking the 5th spot, we've got a motorcycle that refuses to change, the Royal Enfield Bullet 500. And honestly, that's exactly what makes it special. While most bikes get sleeker, faster, and packed with fancy tech, the Bullet 500 stayed true to its old school roots for decades. No touchscreens, no electronic wizardry, just pure mechanical riding bliss. That's probably why Brad Pitt had to have one. The man loves his vintage motorcycles, and the Bullet 500 is as vintage as it gets. Riding this thing isn't just about getting from point A to B, it's about feeling every rev of that 499 cubic centimeter single-cylinder engine, like you've been dropped into a classic 1950s film. No frills, no distractions, just you, the road, and an untamed piece of motorcycling history. But of course, Brad being Brad, he didn't just settle for a stock model. His Bullet 500 is a limited edition piece, customized by Garage Company, adding his own signature touch to an already legendary ride. It's timeless, reliable, and effortlessly stylish, just like the guy who owns it. At number 4, we step away from the vintage beauties and straight into the world of pure, adrenaline-fueled speed. Brad Pitt might love his old school rides, but when it comes to performance bikes, he doesn't hold back. And what better way to prove that than with the Ducati Desmo 16 RR, a bike so rare and powerful, it feels like something straight out of a MotoGP race. Now, this isn't just any Ducati. The Desmo 16 RR is a street-legal MotoGP bike, built for those who crave insane speed and cutting-edge racing technology. Under the fairings sits a 989 cubic centimeter V4 engine, packing a jaw-dropping 197 horsepower at 13,800 revs per minute. That's not just fast, it's warp speed fast. Add in titanium valves, gear-driven cams, and premium performance parts, and you've got a machine built for pure thrill. And get this, only 1,500 units were ever made. The hype around this bike was so intense that even Brad Pitt had to fight for his spot on the list. Rumor has it, he was up against Tom Cruise, another motorcycle fanatic, to get the first unit. Safe to say, when a bike is this exclusive, only the biggest names can get their hands on it. Now, if you're enjoying this deep dive into Brad Pitt's incredible motorcycle collection, why not stick around for more? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more legendary celebrity collections, rare vehicles, and all things two-wheeled. Trust me, there's plenty more coming. Taking the third spot, we have something truly one of a kind. He custom chopper built by the legendary Indian Larry. Now, if you know anything about custom motorcycles, you know Indian Larry was in a league of his own. His bikes weren't just machines, they were rolling pieces of art, handcrafted from scratch with insane attention to detail. Brad Pitt is one of the lucky few who owns an authentic Indian Larry custom chopper, and not just any chopper. This beast was built specifically for him, making it one of the rarest gems in his collection. And let's be honest, Brad isn't just a collector, he actually rides his bikes. When he takes this masterpiece out for a spin, it's not just about making a statement, it's about living the biker lifestyle. And this thing, it's a true chopper. It's got that raked out front end, a skinny front tire, and enough chrome to blind you on a sunny day. The frame is hand-built from pure steel, heated and shaped with old-school craftsmanship. And if you're wondering what a custom Indian Larry bike costs, they start at $65,000, and Brad's is easily worth much more. Coming in hot at number 2, we have a bike that's as rare as it is misunderstood, the Husqvarna Nuda 900R. If you're not deep into motorcycle history, this one might fly under the radar. But for those who know, this bike is a unicorn. Now, here's the backstory. In 2007, BMW bought Husqvarna for a whopping 93 million euros, aiming to blend their engineering with Husqvarna's raw, lightweight performance. But by 2013, they flipped the brand, making the Husqvarna Nuda 900R, released in 2012, one of the rarest BMW-powered Husqvarnas ever built. And guess who owns the very first one? Yep, Brad Pitt. This isn't just some ordinary Husqvarna, it's a high-performance, track-inspired machine. A sports-naked bike with razor-sharp agility, a shorter wheelbase, and race-tuned components, it's designed to be an absolute blast on the road. It's got that aggressive stance, that perfect mix of Husqvarna's DNA and BMW's engineering, and a riding experience that feels like it was made for thrill seekers. Brad Pitt is one of the very few people who own this bike, making it one of the most exclusive high-performance motorcycles in his collection. And honestly, for a guy who appreciates power and precision, the Nuda 900R fits him like a glove. And at number 1, we've got the king of vintage motorcycles, the legendary Harley-Davidson Knucklehead. This isn't just a bike, it's a rolling piece of history. If you're into classic motorcycles and don't have a Knucklehead in your collection, well, let's just say you're missing out on something big. Now, Brad Pitt's love for motorcycles runs deep, but this is different. The Harley Knucklehead is more than just a collector's item, it's a symbol of an era. First introduced in 1936, it brought in the overhead valve V-twin engine, a design that would shape Harley-Davidson's legacy forever. It's the kind of bike that carries decades of attitude, craftsmanship, and unmistakable character. And let's talk about that sound, that deep, thunderous Harley growl that makes people turn their heads before they even see the bike. It's raw, loud, and unapologetically American. That's exactly what makes it one of Brad's most prized motorcycles. Riding the Knucklehead isn't just about the experience, it's about keeping a piece of motorcycle history alive. A bike like this doesn't just belong in a collection, it belongs on the road. And Brad Pitt, he makes sure of that. But now, let's hear from you. Which one of these bikes fits your style the most? Are you all about the classic charm of a Harley, or would you go for the sheer speed of a Ducati? Drop your pick below.